I left Louise when the Saints came marching into the streets. They play the songs that still...
Welcome to a new edition of the Neon Jazz Interview Series with Kansas City's very own and busy jazz group, the AM Trio, featuring Alyssa Murray on vocals and piano, Joel Stratton on the bass, and Joshua Blyth on the drums. During a recent interview with Alyssa, she discussed the band's new album called As of Now, where they are playing these days, how they evolved into their current state as a band, and what may just be in store for the group, along with much, much more. Please dig this interview, my friends.
Alyssa.
Yes.
Great to speak with you. Thanks for taking a little time to talk with me today. I appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's go ahead and dive right in and tell me what has been going on with the band lately.
We just released an album entitled As of Now, and that's our first release. We recorded it back in February at Weights and Measure Studios, and it's just a collection of songs that I've written within the last 2 to 3 years, and the trio's been playing, and I thought it was about time to record them and put them out. And I wrote some horn parts, some horn arrangements on some certain tunes, and invited Nate Nall on trumpet and Matt Baldwin on tenor sax to come in. And they play some awesome solos on some tracks. And then I also have Adam Schlossman on guitar, and he sits on a couple of songs also. So it's not really a true trio record, but...
Right.
Yes, but it's been the songs that my trio's been playing, so... Yeah, it's
very
exciting.
Cool. Yeah, that's awesome. So how long have you been around? What's been kind of the origin of the band and the evolution over time?
Yeah, we've been playing with each other for about 3 years. I have Joel Stratton on bass and Joshua Blyth on drums, and we all met at UMKC. We were all three in the jazz studies program there, and we just I played with Josh in a combo, and I was just friends with Joel and been playing with him off and on, and just had some tunes I wanted to kind of manifest. So we all three kind of came together and started playing that way.
Wonderful.
Yep.
Was Bobby Watson your teacher?
Yeah, we all had him for improv class, and I believe I had him for combo for a semester also. And I think Joel took lessons from him. And yeah, he's been a good force in my musical life for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. What was it like to learn under him? And you knowing him as a musician, kind of the titan that he is, what is it like to learn under someone like Bobby Watson?
It's just great. It's good to see someone who takes their art seriously and hasn't just been doing it for a long time and is a veteran and is excellent in what he does, and just what advice he has to, someone who is more near the beginning of their career and near their artistic path, I guess you could say. So He's been really great to get information from in that way.
So, learning in the classroom is a whole different experience from going out in the field. What has it been like to kind of go, what you've learned from the classroom and to put that to work in the field like you've been so prolifically with the trio?
Yeah. I'd say just even in the classroom, their advice was to get out and to do, to go out and play. And you learn so much doing that,
Sure.
Yeah, and a definite amount of knowledge comes from that. And so, for me, I've always been I don't know, I feel like my songs and my original work has kind of guided me in how I want, my playing to be. Even getting into jazz, it was kind of through my own writing. And so I've always kind of been independent in getting out there and getting my own writing out there. So it's kind of just been the school and studying jazz with Bobby and whatnot has just kind of been just like more of a empowerment on top of that. So
yeah.
Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So who were your influences musically as you started kind of getting interested in jazz and kind of grooming this career by going to school? Who have been kind of your heroes, so to speak, in jazz?
Yeah, for sure. My first kind of pianist I started getting into was Bill Evans, especially the Everybody Digs Bill Evans album. I love that album. Yeah,
oh, yeah.
Especially that. Yeah, so he was kind of a big first influence on me. And then I from him. I got into Kenny Barron, who's been a great pianist that's influenced me. And then lately, the last couple of years, I've really gotten into some tenor players. I've really enjoyed Sonny Rollins and Dexter Gordon, and I've really enjoyed Joe Henderson's writing, especially. So those are kind of my pool I've picked from, I feel like.
Yeah. So if somebody opens up a Weekly or the Star and they see AM trios playing at the Blue Room or at any other venue around town, and they don't know who you are, how would you define, or how would you put kind of, I don't like to use the word define or label, but I'm just trying to find the right word here.
Yeah.
How would you characterize the sound that you present to the audience?
Yeah, I choose to describe it as jazz combined with the narrative elements of contemporary folk. So musically, it's jazz. It pulls a lot from jazz, and how the trio interacts, pulls a lot from jazz. But lyrically, it's more narrative and storytelling, or a little bit more poetic and image-based or scene kind of painting. So that I pull more from contemporary folk, writers like Joni Mitchell, and I really liked Rufus Wainwright in high school, and Jeff Buckley. Those have been more of my lyric influences. So that's kind of how I describe our sound.
Wonderful. So you've been around Kansas City quite a bit. How would you describe the reception the Kansas City audiences have had to you?
It's been a very positive one, and I've had a wide variety of people come up to me and enjoy our work. I feel people who kind of enjoy, more of the folk kind of scene, or more of the songwriting, singer-songwriter can take to us because of my lyrics. But I also feel that people who enjoy more like instrumental and more stimulating music-wise, they also pull from us because of our jazz influence. And so I felt just a good response from both of those kind of groups and scenes in Kansas City.
Right on. So what's it been like to be a part of a Kansas City scene that's flourishing? And there's obviously a big kudos that goes to Bobby Watson for churning out so many talented people in this town. What's it like to be involved with the Kansas City Jazz scene in 2015?
It's awesome. It's really a blessing, I feel like. Especially, I've seen it just keeps growing, even though the last couple of years, even since moving here about 5 years ago, even in that short amount of time, we've had, musicians move in, and, most young musicians stay around town. And so I've been most of the people I work with are usually, my peers, but we're out, playing gigs and whatnot. But I also play with Brian Hicks, and I played with Bob Bowman last Saturday at Chaz. So it's a really good, diverse, I guess you could say, even age-wise, within the scene. Yeah.
Right on. Why do you love jazz?
I like, it's just so stimulating creatively, and it's challenging. It's a whole bunch of things. I love playing with people and getting to interact and kind of creating moments or musical moments on the spot with people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. What is the greatest thing about performing this new album? What are you excited about by presenting this album that you are releasing right now? What's the greatest thing about that?
I feel these songs have kind of manifested themselves with the trio and with the other musicians I play with, and it's just really exciting to have like a collection that I can present to people, and just having like a physical CD to hand to people that they take, to their cars or into their lives is really cool. And so that's a new thing to experience with the album coming out.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Seems like it's been a long road to get to this point to have a CD. It would probably be pretty gratifying.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Have you lived in Kansas City your whole life?
No, I actually grew up in Hays, Kansas, and I've been here for about 5 years. Yeah.
So, what's the greatest thing to you about Kansas City?
I really like the people here. I like there's just a balance between, I have really great resources here, but I feel like I'm able to be still, included and involved in a way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let me dig a little bit more into the whole jazz side of things here.
Mm-hmm.
If you and or the band could go back in time and view a live show at any point, anywhere, by anyone, what jazz show would you pick?
Yeah, let me think. I would love to see, I think, Sonny Rollins right around when The Bridge came out with the Jim Hall on guitar. Like, I think that quartet would have been great to see.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What do you see the future being? Let's say we talk in about 10 years from now, and I ask you what has been going on. What are you going to want to tell me happened?
I just hope I keep writing and I keep putting out consistent work. I hope I'm a better jazz musician. I'm going to, I hope I grow musically. I also hope that I expand audience-wise. I'm really focusing on that this coming year to maybe set up a tour and start, doing like a regional tour and then expanding from there and just getting the business stuff right and start to get that churning.
Very cool. I think that right there kind of encapsulates everything for me. I really appreciate you taking some time out. I really dig your music. I'm going to spin it on the show. Yeah, good luck out there, and I'm sure at some point I'll probably see you all live.
All right, cool, awesome, that sounds great.
Thanks for listening and tuning in to yet another Neon Jazz interview, where we give you a bit of insight into the finest players in New York City, Kansas City, and spots all over America, giving fans all that jazz. And thanks to Alyssa of the very talented AM Trio for her time, talent, and dedication to furthering KC Jazz. If you want to hear more interviews, go to Famous Interviews with Joe Domino on the iTunes Store, or visit theneonjazz.blogspot.com for all things Neon Jazz. Until next time, enjoy the music, my friends.
Neon Jazz.